Meatball Ron DeSanctimonious, he just spent some time traveling the world. He thinks this is his glorious, like, pre-presidential campaign introduction. I think he thinks this makes him more serious, right? Like, me, I've been to Israel. I've been to many places around the world, good sir. I have much foreign policy experience. It almost is like when Sarah Palin said, I can see Alaska from my backyard. But this didn't go well for him. Now, he was riding high for a while there after the midterms because all the candidates that were most tied to Trump, all those Republican candidates, lost huge. And he won big. DeSantis won big in Florida. He didn't even seek out Trump's endorsement. And so it was very clear, oh, this is the heir apparent. This is the next guy. Some polls had him actually leading Trump for a little bit immediately after the midterms. But everything since then has utterly collapsed. And Trump has taken a mallet to his face every day for weeks, maybe months now. And so what's interesting is, and this is the Trump effect, I think, is that the more he hits him, the more he's relentless. Eventually, people get over the shock of it. Like, at first, everybody was shocked when he attacked DeSantis. People got over the shock of it, and it just became, he's attacking him. And even the media is getting on board with the fun here. So DeSantis did this global trip, and look at all of these headlines. I don't know if there's a single positive one here. So this is while he was traveling the world. Oh my God, Trump was the one who put these all together. Oh, that's glorious. Oh, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Now, what's funny is that if this were anti-Trump headlines, the Trump people would use it as like, see, look at the bias of the mainstream media, totally unfair. But since it's headlines against DeSantis, they're like, see, DeSantis is terrible. Everybody agrees, even the media. I love the lack of consistent standards, the lack of like logic. He doesn't care. Anyway, so this is from Trump, an email from Trump. Ron DeSantis spent last week traveling the world, and all he got were these terrible headlines. Politico, Ron DeTedious, DeSantis underwhelms Britain's business chiefs. The Independent, Ron DeSantis critics gloat over brutal reviews of his UK trip. Quote, horrendous, low wattage, bored. NBC News, I think he's in trouble. Growing number of Ron DeSantis donors and allies hope for a shakeup. Newsweek, Ron DeSantis' presidential ambitions endure another bumpy week. Roll call, what is Ron DeSantis doing? Intelligencer, all of Ron DeSantis' crimes against good etiquette. Mediaite, watch, Ron DeSantis loses his shit yelling at reporter over torture allegations. The Telegraph, Rishi Sunak avoids Ron DeSantis on his UK visit. More, Breitbart News, Republican megadonor John Catsimatidis withdraws DeSantis support. Mediaite, watch, DeSantis does that weird bobblehead thing when asked about 2024 launch. Newsmax, Jason Miller to Newsmax, DeSantis running into a buzzsaw in 2024. Daily Beast, right now, Ron DeSantis lacks the killer spirit to vanquish Trump. The New York Times, after stumbles at home, DeSantis heads abroad to find his footing. That's like the most neutral one I've seen. All of them have been negative to that point. Newsweek, Ron DeSantis just lost another donor. The Hill, Trump tops DeSantis by 46 points in new poll. Fox News, poll, Trump still top 2024 Republican preference, DeSantis slipping. Oh my goodness. Look, man, it's crazy to see the waves, the way things work in politics. Like, it's fluid, right? Politics is not stagnant, it's fluid, and there are waves. Peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. And you saw this with Trump. After January 6th, he plunged to, I think it was 30% approval rating. After the midterms, he plunged even lower to 28%. Right now, he has a favorability rating of 26%. We covered that recently. But you got the peaks in the Republican primary at the same time. This weird like bifurcation between the Republican primary versus the general electorate. You saw this with Biden. He was riding high right after he got elected. 52% approval rating, was riding high after he cut checks to people. 52% approval rating. And then it was just everything fell off a cliff. That was actually post the Afghanistan withdrawal and the media beating up on him relentlessly. And with Ron DeSantis, I never saw a higher high and a lower low than this. He was like, everybody was like, don't even have the primary. DeSantis is going to win right after the midterms. And then now it's you can't find a positive headline. And a lot of it is of his own making, but a lot of it is Trump's relentless nature in attacking him and just drilling home the narrative. Meatball Ron DeSantis. Like, this guy's not ready. I made this guy. I made him. He was down in the dumps in the polls like a dog. And I came in and I ended up getting him I got him across the finish line. In that video of him, of DeSantis, like being sycophantic towards Trump in an ad with his baby when he ran the first time, and Trump ran that in his head. Anyway, it all turned when Trump relentlessly attacked him and he wasn't able to respond in a way that deflected appropriately. And now this is what we're left with. Man, this guy is hemorrhaging voters and probably self-respect as well. Anyway, we'll see. Look, I might be slightly overstating it now. He didn't have a Jeb Bush-like implosion. He didn't have a Marco Rubio-like implosion. Even now, with his being at his low point, he's still at like 20% or 24% in the polls. Little Marco collapsed to nothing, single digits, less than 5%. You had Jeb Bush, same thing. So he's hung on better than those guys. But look, if he doesn't turn this ship around quickly, it's beginning to look like the primary is just a formality. You know, it's beginning to look like that. So we'll see what happens. But with Trump coming after you as aggressive as he is, and then the media too, and you're hemorrhaging now. Republican donors are his bread and butter, bro. The donor class loves this guy. Like Fox News loves this guy. When you're losing the Republican donor class, like, Jesus Christ, what have you done? What have you done? All right, so there it is, guys. That's the show I got for you today. I love you all very much. Thanks, as always, for listening. I won't bore you with the shameless plugs again because we did them very recently. So I'll just leave it at that. Everybody have a great rest of your day. And I and Mac will talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.